I'm upside down. Come on, camera. That's better. I've been playing with the lighting in my house. I think this might be a little better than usual. I gotta turn off the fan. It's making noise that bugs me. All right, look out, kitties. Ah, what is it with cats? If you get up from your chair and start walking, they think it's their job to get in front of you and stay there and hold still and make you not that way anymore. She's a grown-up kitty, aren't you? Huh. I haven't fed the cats. I overslept. Oh well. All right, we'll open a can. So, good morning and welcome to your Thursday morning chat session. Come on, kitties. Here's your cat food. All right. Move. Let me through. Yeah, I'm walking here. Kitties. Ah. It's morning. I overslept. And the cats are not helping. All right, but I got my coffee, my tea, my water, and my camel filters. Yes, Tora, you're sweet and cute. And an interesting article on what the hiss? Oh, SF Gate. Hundreds of endangered butterflies slated to be released along California coast. The Barron's silver spot butterfly might become a more common sight. It looks kind of like a painted lady. Hi, Jorge. Hi, Ditch. A painted lady is kind of like looks kind of like a monarch butterfly. And you see, the monarch butterflies are poisonous, so birds usually don't eat them. The painted lady is not poisonous, but it kind of looks like a monarch, so birds will avoid eating them. Oh, Jorge's about to purchase the augmented book that has my short story. Thank you, Jorge. Well, anyway, this here, I don't know if you can see it. It's on my phone. The Barron's silver spot butterfly. Come on, camera, focus. Oh, well. I got to get that laptop up and running, the laptop that L. Freeman sent me. What's big? The butterfly is a little thing in the center of the screen. The butterfly? Not really. Those are tiny flowers. They're little, can't think of the word. They're like dandelions. They're tiny flowers, about the size of your thumbnail. So the butterfly isn't that huge. They're thistles. The flowers. They're little tiny flowers. Not more than an inch across. Okay. Well, we have homeless veterans, homeless, uh, elderly and disabled, homeless, uh, drug addicts, and now homeless migrants. But California is saving a butterfly. Well, I'm glad they are, but wow. And it says hundreds of rare blazing orange butterflies are slated to be released in Northern California over the next 2 years, marking a victory for conservationists working tirelessly to restore them across the region. Oh, of course, it's the Mendocino Land Trust with a grant of $1.5 million has been restoring their habitats for about a year now. Oh, you evil phone. Do not disturb. Okay, that's enough of that. Come on, you evil phone. Never does what I tell it to. My phone says it is 31 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Okay, let's see. 31 F to C. F to C. See, the phone puts light in my eyes. Well, that's about minus half a degree centigrade, Celsius, whatever. Hi, Freeman. Okay. I'm almost awake now. One of the cats, the newest one, the little bully Smokey, kept getting in my face this morning when I was trying to sleep. So when I finally did fall back to sleep early this morning, I overslept. Okay. Anyway, we get a rescued butterfly in California. A medieval gauntlet was excavated in Switzerland. Oh no. A treasure hunt excavation caused potentially irreversible damage to an archaeological site in Utah. Why do people hunt for treasure on land they don't own? I'm on time, but I'm not awake because the cat kept destroying my sleep. Oh, some guy dug a trench through a one-of-a-kind archaeological site while hunting for treasure in Washington County, Utah. You don't do that sort of thing without a permit. Freeman needs to get stuff done today. Oh, to get stuff. Okay. Oh, my poor nose. Oh, well. Quit it, Tora. Don't even think it. What are you cats doing? Knock it off, Smokey. You're You're a you're a bad cat. I was about to say a bad word that starts with A and ends with hole, because that's what Smokey is. She disturbed my sleep, so I'm not with it. Ditch says there have been a lot of tunnel stories lately, but in New York City, the weirdo on TikTok, well, apparently there were some tunnels under a synagogue in New York, and they caught people digging in the tunnels with shovels. Nobody knows why. Oh well, weirder things have happened. Oh, yeah, time for the squirt gun. Move, Tora, get off me. Cats are constantly trying to open up cardboard boxes and pull everything out that I put in them. I'm packing up cardboard boxes to get things out of my house, not to make cat toys. And as much as I understand that cats like to sleep inside boxes, they don't want to sleep in the boxes that I designated for cats. They want the boxes that are not for cats. Anyway, I did a little cooking yesterday. I made a sort of my take on beef stroganoff uh, using what I had on hand. It wasn't bad, and I have some of the meat and veggie filling left over. Oh, thank you, Ditch. Ditch liked my video. What I'm going to do is it's just the meat and veggies without the noodles and sour cream. I'm going to take that and heat it up with uh, a little taco seasoning from a pouch and make either a taco or a burrito with it. Uh, yeah, I've never heard of mushrooms in Mexican food, but it has mushrooms. So my taco or burrito will have mushrooms. I'll heat it up, add some shredded cheddar cheese, and wrap it in a tortilla. And I might add a dollop of sour cream and some sliced avocado, if I can get an avocado. I like to sprinkle a little garlic salt on the avocado and then dip the avocado in the sour cream. Ditch loves mushrooms, and Freeman says, well, you can have all of mine. Well, if you don't like mushrooms, don't put them in. It's your food. Make it the way you like it. Now, the reason I use taco spice from a pouch is, well, two reasons. One, I like it. Two, every time I try to use my little jars of spices and herbs, it doesn't come out right, and I don't like it. Yeah, and besides, Del Taco, which is what I'm used to, it sells their own little pouches of spices, taco spices. Now, if it's a burrito, I'll add some refried beans. And I'll tell you the trick to making refried beans So good. I take them out of a can. I don't have the time and energy and motivation to make them from dried beans. But if you just heat them up, they're kind of mushy and thick, and I don't know, they just don't feel right on my tongue. So I put the canned beans into the pot, a saucepan. If all I have clean is a frying pan, I'll put them in that. But then I add, about 3 tablespoons of water. Stir it in with a fork. And then I add a tablespoon or two of oil. Now, lately I've kind of shied away from the seed oils, the vegetable oils, the canola oil, corn oil, cooking oil, etc. But you could use olive oil or melt some bacon grease or lard if you can get it. I can't find it around here. And put that in and stir it into the beans with a fork until they're fluffy, and then heat them up. Um, See, olive oil is made from the fruit of the olive, not the seed. So it doesn't have to be processed with all those chemicals and stuff. Although, in small quantities, a little vegetable oil isn't going to kill you. And if you're deep fat frying, you're going to want vegetable oil because it's cheap. I use it when I make my own French fries. You take your chopped up or sliced up potatoes and fry them in oil and let them rest and fry them a second time. Well, instead of frying them a second time, I put them in the oven. Most of the oil comes off and they still taste awesome. And you really don't want your potatoes to soak up the oil. You want them to just get browned on the outside. Freeman's talking about a funny hot and sour soup made in Amsterdam called Fungus Mungus, and the mushrooms were not store-bought. Oh, you can see it in the documentary Cheech and Chong Go to Amsterdam. Oh, Ditch has been mispronouncing exegesis wrong the entire time. Well, that's understandable. I've mispronounced lots of words until I heard other people say them out loud. Ditch needs oil to gain weight. Well, trust me, you save the grease from your bacon in a jar with a lid. People say you can just leave it out and no lid and all that, and it's fine, but I'm more careful. I put it in a jar with a lid and keep it in the refrigerator. And if you just get the oil and not all the little bits of bacon that collect in the bottom of the pan, it won't have much flavor. It won't taste like bacon, but it'll make your food taste awesome. As long as I can remember in my childhood, my parents and grandparents always saved the bacon grease. They didn't go out and buy a jar of oil very often because they had bacon grease. Anyway, olive oil is made from the fruit, not the seed. It isn't highly processed, but here in the United States at least, it's really difficult to get actual olive oil that is not adulterated, mixed with other oils. And even the expensive imported stuff sometimes is no good. It's gone rancid. Oh, my poor nose. Ah. Yeah, ditch. Well, you don't want your French fries to be full of oil because they're soggy and mushy and yucky. Icky. Quit getting the lean meat and get stuff that has fat on it, like chicken and bacon and pork chops, and if you can afford it, a good steak. I like the ribeye. One ribeye steak takes my whole budget for meat for a month, but it makes about 4 or 5 meals for me. All right, I have to like make the chat scroll up. Oh, in Michigan, there's Novi, which they pronounce Nova. And, oh, Freeman's talking about annoying local pronunciations, like the airport in Austin, Texas. It's spelled Mahler, but pronounced Mueller. And in Indiana, Terre Haute, yeah. Yeah, well, I thought it was Terre with an E on the end, not Terra. But actually in Indiana, they're pronouncing it right because it's French. And French doesn't have to make sense. It's French. Haute is haute. Sorry, Freeman, but they got it right in Indiana. However, let's see. There's a Cairo somewhere in the Midwest, but they pronounce it Cairo, but it's named after the city in Egypt. I have a jolly old time listening to news reporters and weather reporters who are new to California trying to pronounce things like La Jolla, L-A, new word, Jolla. It's La Jolla. We all know that. We grew up here. And, oh, what's that street in Los Angeles that gets everybody? Naturally, I can't think of it. I wasn't planning to talk about these things. Let me see if Google will help me. Well, that isn't the word I want. Okay. Oh, Inspector Clouseau and Pepe Le Pew, the French, hate those, huh? I think they're delightful. Well, Clouseau might be a klutz in the movie, but he catches the murderer. And you gotta love the Pink Panther. Hi, Witta. We got a full house almost. Oh dear. Uh-huh. We have La Cienega. I think that's it. It's a street in Los Angeles. Spelled Cienega, with a law for the in front of it. La Cienega. And there's a part of La Cienega where they close the gates to keep traffic out every time there's a big rainstorm because it floods. And the people there should not be surprised because La Cienega means the swamp. Yeah, a lot of people say Rodeo Drive, but it's Rodeo. When Mom told me what La Cienega meant, she didn't pronounce it carefully, and I thought she said the swan, like those beautiful birds. It's the swamp. I don't know. Growing up in Culver City, which is right next to LA, I heard all these street names before I ever saw them written down. So I guess I had an easier time making the connection than people who come here from back east. And you would think that in New York, especially with all the Puerto Rican immigrants and Florida with all the Cubans, you would think that people knew a little Spanish. And there is one word where California has it wrong and New York has it right. The little porch like area outside my front door is a patio. But in New York, it's a patio because they pronounce it right. Oh, your Freeman's favorite is Rancho Cucaracha. Yeah, Cucamonga. They added Rancho to make it sound fancy when they were building new housing developments. But on the Jack Benny show, the announcer announcing trains would say, leaving on track 9 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga. Cockroach Ranch. Yeah. Does Cucamonga really mean something? I have never thought to check that out. How did Cucamonga get its name? May have been derived from a Shoshone word meaning sandy place. What does Cucamonga mean in English? Sandy Place. Okay. What Native American tribe was in Cucamonga? The Cucamongan people. They were part of the Gabrielino culture. Okay, that's more than I needed to know. Oh, New Yorkers don't like Puerto Ricans and Dominicans? Well, shame on you. Remember that big Broadway hit from when I was about 2 feet tall? It was a modern interpretation of Romeo and Juliet, where the Puerto Rican boy, no, the Polish boy was in love with the Puerto Rican lady. West Side Story. Huh. Freeman says New York City is the great American pressure cooker. YouTube is slacking? Shame on YouTube. Let me check my little modem thingy. Last week or the week before, I forget which, I forgot to check the charge on the portable modem, and it cut my show by running out of power. So I'm going to put it on a charger this time. So the battery doesn't run down to zero and end my show for me. Oh, Etsy Quentia is remembering the scene in Orient Express where this woman calls Poirot's Peter Ustinov a French rat, and he corrects her and says a Belgian rat, madame. Oh yeah, Peter Ustinov did do it. The one I didn't like, even though he's a great actor, he wasn't right for Poirot. Well, yeah, I'm just checking. Albert Finney. Albert Finney, great actor, but not right for the role of Poirot. Well, I like David Suchet. I kind of did a double take when I heard him talking in his own British accent. I'm like, whoa. Anyway, Albert Finney, he seemed to think that all Poirot needed to do was shout at people. Now, that might be partly the director. Directors tell actors what to do. Careful with your language, Freeman. Okay, I did promise to talk about Joshua. This will be a cold reading. I don't think I've ever even looked at the book of Joshua. You know, the guy who led the army to take back the promised land after Moses died. Oh, what a morning. I'm beginning to feel okay. Although the talk about food has made me hungry. Ditch is going to grab his Bible. I'm just going online to get the ESV. I don't want to buy another translation. I have several. I even have the Jehovah Witness Bible, which I don't like. But, they give it away for free. Freeman wants me to look at the movie 25th Hour. I have a list of movies I have to watch now. See, my knowledge of movies is about 30 years old, and it's voluminous enough that I'm not sure how much more I can fit into my head. Joshua was not around when the Maccabees held their revolt. There's hundreds of years in between. The Maccabees were right before the Advent, when Jesus was born. Joshua was right, during the Exodus. And there's no general agreement on exactly when the Exodus happened. 1400 BC, 1100 BC, and several dates in between. You see, the Bible doesn't give you dates. It tells you so-and-so lived so many years and begat so-and-so. And people make mistakes trying to figure out the timeline. So when they dig up Jericho and say, yeah, the city was destroyed, but it was the wrong date, so it couldn't have been Joshua who destroyed it. Well, maybe their official date was wrong. It wasn't exactly genocide, Ditch. Let's see what the Bible actually says he did. Stinking ad. Instead of popping up, it slid in. Okay. The ESV, the English Standard Version, is a relatively recent translation. And as much as I love the poetry of the King James, it's a devil to try to pronounce it when you're reading it out loud. Okay, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, the son of Nun, and that's N-U-N. Maybe we should pronounce it Noon. Well, either way, it's confusing. Moses' assistant. And God says, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise and go over this Jordan. That's the Jordan River. You and all this people into the land that I am giving to them, to the people of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given to you, just as I promised to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, to the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your territory. Well, that great sea would be the Mediterranean. The sun goes down in the west. Okay, God is still talking. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life, just as I was with Moses. So I will be with you. I will not leave you or forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land that I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, being careful to do according to all the law that Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may have good success wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. I got to check back to the chat. No, the sun doesn't go down in the east, Freeman. The Great Sea has to be the Mediterranean in the west. No, the Red Sea is a little thing between Egypt and the Holy Land. No, it's the Mediterranean. And I want to skip a ways and get to the important parts. Here we go. The actual battle. Okay, chapter 2 is when Rahab hides the two Jewish, well, they aren't Jews yet, Israeli spies in, I believe that's Jericho. Yeah, Jericho. And she is like adopted into Israel because she serves the Lord and not the false gods of the pagans. All right, so they do take Jericho and they destroy everyone and everything except Rahab, who becomes an ancestor of Jesus, by the way. There's a bunch of stuff. They have to cross the Jordan. They have to circumcise the children. The fall of Jericho. Now the fall of Ai. It's spelled AI. That's fitting in these times. You know what AI is. I. In Ai, they took the whole city, but this time they kept the livestock as plunder. And then the Gibeonite deception. The Gibeonites, the Hivites of Gibeon, I guess. These words confuse me, these names. They want to join the Israelites. They made a covenant. But the people of Israel did not attack them because the leaders of the congregation, by the way, this is chapter 9. Where was I reading? Well, anyway, they had made a covenant, and the leaders, all the congregation murmured against the leaders, but all the leaders said to all the congregation, "We have sworn to them by the Lord, the God of Israel, and now we may not touch them. This we will do to them. Let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because of the oath that we swore to them." And the leader said to them, "Let them live." So they became cutters of wood and drawers of water for all the congregation, just as the leaders had said of them. And Joshua summoned them, and he said to them, "Why did you deceive us, saying, 'We are very far from you,' when you dwell among us? Now therefore you are cursed." See, these outsiders pretended to be from far away, but they were just trying to survive the invasion of the Israelites. Now, so Joshua says, "Now therefore are you cursed, and some of you shall never be anything but servants, cutters of wood, and drawers of water for the house of my God." They answered Joshua, "Because it was told to your servants for a certainty that the Lord your God had commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. So we feared greatly for our lives because of you and did this thing. And now behold, we are in your hand. Whatever seems good and right in your sight to do to us, do it." So he did this to them and delivered them out of the hand of the people of Israel, and they did not kill them. But Joshua made them that day cutters of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of the Lord to this day in the place that he should choose. And then the sun stands still during a battle in chapter 10. We know that story, even though I've never read this book. And they conquer this, that, and the other thing. And they keep on conquering. There's a list of the kings defeated by Moses and the kings defeated by Joshua. And then there's land still to be conquered. And there's an inheritance to the east of the Jordan. And the inheritance west of the Jordan. In other words, each tribe got an allotment of land. So we're skimming through all the various allotments of land. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the 9. Okay. Cities of refuge in 20. If you kill someone that you didn't intend to or didn't know it, you can flee to a sanctuary city. A refuge from the avenger, because the dead guy's family has an obligation to kill you. One of those cities was Petra, which they they used the face of it in dear, Indiana Jones and the not the Temple of Doom, the one where his father is in it. Sean Connery plays his dad. Oi. Ay, ay, ay. And they keep conquering. This is Judges. Okay, I've had enough. No, not Raiders of the Last Crusade. Thank you, Etsy Quentia. Yeah. Hooey. That's coffee. I wanted tea. Yeah. I have not seen the one with the crystal skulls, but from what I've heard, I haven't missed anything. Quit. But it kind of reminds me of the League of Extraordinary Men. I must have caught cold. I've been sneezing like crazy since yesterday afternoon. Tora, you're bugging me. You're really a pest. I probably should open the door and let these furry pests out. Here. What did you do, you rotten cat? I knew it. She knocked my modem on the floor. Ah, gosh. Cats are not clumsy. That should not happen. Get off my chair, Smokey. Smokey. See, Smokey? She's the worst pest. Here, get back on your chair and have some treats. All right. 2 and 3C. And Tora. Ugh. Etsy Quentia says I can safely skip over Crystal Skull. Not much to miss there. And the less said about the latest abomination, the better. Yeah, that brings me to Disney. Are they nuts? Now they want to ruin Wolverine. Oh, Dial of Dysentery. That's a good one, Freeman. Is Jackman's first name Hugh? Wolverine? Hugh Jackman? They want to replace him. They're taking iconic characters and replacing the actors for their equity and diversity and inclusion. Don't they have any imagination? Can't they come up with a new character? I'm all for woman superheroes. I love Wonder Woman. But, use your imagination, your creativity, and come up with a new character. Well, there's one new one from the comic books. She's called Echo. She's supposed to be let's see, a deaf Native American amputee. Was that necessary? She ticks 4 boxes. A woman, disabled, ethnic, and deaf, disabled. Um, and from what I've heard, the movie, or I guess it was a series, a streaming series, for most of the story, all she did was sit around talking with other women. Yeah, I've been listening to a number of channels. Mike Zero, with an H on the end of zero. Liberal Hive Mind. I'm not sure if they did the Disney stuff. I think they did. Um, oh, getting the hiccups now. Oh, Etsy Quentia says Wolverine is supposed to be short. In the comics, he's about 5'1". Well, I like Hugh Jackman and I like Wolverine. Um, I can't remember the names of all these channels, but you see, if you start watching a certain genre, YouTube starts popping up. Yeah, Nerdrotic. That's one, Freeman. I haven't seen Clownfish TV, I don't think. I'll have to look into that, but there's all kinds of channels, even ones that don't normally talk about movies and TV, that are just bashing Disney. One of them is financial, and they're talking about Disney losing money. Um, their investors are up in arms. Oops. Hand lotion, or as we call it around here, paw grease. There was an X-Men with Captain Picard as their leader, their CEO. I forget what it was called, but it was X-Men, and it had Wolverine rescuing the girl who can't touch people because they die if she touches them. That was an amazing movie. So we have Dawn says her name is Rogue. Okay. Oh, my poor nose and my poor throat and my poor dry skin. Ah. By the way, I have learned that cheap napkins work a lot better than Kleenex. I like them better. Ah. Ditch says Rogue is from Louisiana. Oh, Professor X, of course, Ditch. Thank you. Um, what was um, the the Nordic heroes with Valhalla and all that, and Torah quit. Um, No, I can't even. Yeah, Thor at the end says Valhalla must fall. He's been trying the whole time to prevent the fall of Valhalla. And then he realizes that the only way to win is for Valhalla to fall. I liked that movie. And then they spun off, what's his name? Thor's evil brother. Huh. Why am I blank on his name? Loki. Thank you, Ditch. Yeah, Ditch likes Deadpool. I never heard of Deadpool till all this stuff about Disney came out in on YouTube about how they're even ruining Deadpool. So I'm kind of ignorant about Deadpool. Oh yeah, there's basically three parts to the current uh, production of Deadpool. I'm not sure whether it's Deadpool 3 or Deadpool 4, but the third part isn't finished with the filming, and Disney keeps cutting scenes and inserting scenes and stuff to make it more EDI, is it? Or DEI? I don't know. Oh, yeah, Hugh Jackman has some scenes in Deadpool, but the higher ups at Disney ordered that his best and longest scene be deleted. They said it's too violent. This from the Marvel creative universe that has all kinds of violent action. Uh, I was disappointed, by the way, many moons ago by the Howard the Duck movie. I had collected a whole bunch of Howard the Duck comics. And when the movie was coming out, I thought, oh, good, my comic books will be valuable. Well, the movie was such a flop that the comic books lost value. So I gave them to my brother because he's also a Howard the Duck fan. Here's a YouTuber. Doug in Exile, who's a comic book artist. His main character is a worm. He's a really great comic artist. I liked the way Howard was irreverent and somewhat nasty. Anyway, you ought to check out Doug in Exile. I don't think that's his channel name anymore. It might be. They keep banning. YouTube keeps banning some of my favorite podcasters because they dare to talk about things that are taboo. They've even taken down a couple of my videos, but they haven't banned me yet. That's why I kind of try to avoid politics and medicine and other controversial stuff. Oh, well. Tora, don't push your luck. I'm going to open the door and see who goes outside. You want to go play? Come on. Kitty kitties. Let's open the door and go out and play. Yeah. Sweetie, you're an idiot. You don't need to run away from me. What have I ever done to you? Sweetie is such a spaz. She's feral, but she's 16 years old. Lived with me her whole life, and she still runs away from me. Won't let me touch her furry pelt. Yeah, some comic books are worth a lot. And I never know what they're going to dislike. I guess it's safe to mention that a certain candidate won in Iowa and is now in New Hampshire. Earthworm Jim. Yes, Witta. Earthworm Jim. Doug in Exile draws Earthworm Jim. And there are books, actual books, not just comic books of Earthworm Jim. There are all kinds of weird things going on in the courts and in politics and I'm against counting on one man or woman, one person. Yeah, well, at Sequentia, I do a lot of cat shaming. Anyway, it's just not safe to count on any one person to save us. Even Moses screwed up. So, L. Freeman says he got Fish Police #1, saw it was up to $30, held on to it, and now it's 50 cents. Well, anyway, don't count on a savior to arise and save us all. We're all humans, not gods, although some people think they're gods. I am really interested in how so many channels like Black Conservative Perspective are pro-Trump. And down on Democrats. That's interesting. How to coin a new word? Freeman, why do you want to coin a new word? You just keep your eyes and ears open. You'll either see or hear something you can work with. And then you repeat it. That's right, Ditch. You keep saying it until everybody says it. Well, anyway. Wow. Well, Freeman, you'll have to explain what that word means and how to pronounce it. Kerflubbering, Ditch. Do you remember that old movie, The Nutty Professor, who invented flubber? I think some politicians like Vivek are right in that we have too many bureaucrats making the law without going through Congress. Don't ask me what to do about it. I'm not a politician. I just write fantasies and science fiction and poetry and Don liked the Flubber movie with Robin Williams. Doesn't think he saw all of the original one. I'm trying to remember, was it Fred McMurray? Who was in the original Nutty Professor? Could have been Dean Jones for all I know. Oh, Lord. It was also redone in 96 with Eddie Murphy and Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis was still alive in 96? Yeah. I'm trying to find one that isn't in the 1963 film. Jerry Lewis. Really? Oh, there must have been a TV spin-off with someone else. Jerry Lewis. He wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. Interesting. I guess I don't remember it as well as I thought he did. 1963 at Sequentia. The professor wasn't nutty enough in the original? Okay. Yeah, I've heard lots of stories about how Jerry Lewis was anything but a nice guy. And he and Dean Martin did not get along. I guess, Dean Martin was the straight man, but Jerry Lewis got all the attention. Don, there's the absent-minded professor. Okay. Fred McMurray. So I was right. 1961. But did he make Flubber? I don't think he made Flubber. Oh, he did. Okay. All right. So I'm mixing things up. What can I say? That was over 60 years ago. Yeah, they started out as friends. That's how they teamed up, Martin and Lewis. But Jerry Lewis really screwed it up. One thing I heard about him that I don't think you should actually disrespect him for. He never wore the same pair of socks twice. Well, he was taking care of his feet because he was actually a dancer. Now, he went to extremes, but the only thing Don knows is the Martin and Lewis song, That's Amore. Yeah, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Yeah, the 60s were 60 years ago. That is mind boggling. I was born in 54. So by 1960, I was pretty much sentient. They did a lot of movies. Many of them were set in World War II. So I'm the same age as Ditch's mom. Well, at least you didn't say grandma. Yes, Tora, you're cute. It might be safe to give you treats now that the others went outside, but I'm telling you, they can be outside and across the street and they hear me opening a bag of treats and come running in. There. Yeah. My son is 50 and he's a walking miracle. His doctor said he should have died in the emergency room. They don't know why he had his heart attack or why he and how he survived it. So every day he walks this earth is a miracle. Ditch says when he first introduced my channel to his Discord server, people thought I was his grandma. Well, my son is kind of depressed at the thought that he isn't going to live much longer, but he's trying to enjoy life while he can. Thing is, he's really slowed down. He isn't like super well, but he's walking around. The main thing is he has to keep fighting the health insurance company to cover the treatment he can get from Cedars-Sinai. They don't want to cover it. My son has always been a minimalist. He doesn't like to have a lot of stuff around. He has all the memories in his head. And to him, Philip K. Dick was dad, not some famous science fiction writer. And when I have in the past given him things, like his dad's typewriter and a few other things, he gave them to his sisters because they didn't really know their father, and it's a sort of connection for them. So that's okay. But no, he's especially now. Who's he going to leave it to? His daughter isn't interested. His sisters have everything they need. So I'm making sure that real fans and collectors get the few things that I have left. Well, Ditch, you had a stroke and a brain hemorrhage, but I'm glad you recovered and you're still alive and kicking. Um, but you're told, my son was told he has 2 years to live, and he's only 50. I think he can prove them wrong. That's based on an average, and most people who have that kind of heart attack have comorbidities, they're obese or in some other way unhealthy. And he's been a health nut all his adult life. So, and that's probably why he survived. He's kept his body as healthy as he could. Yeah, there ought to be a Philip K. Dick museum. There's a movement beginning to stir to at least have a display at the library in Fort Morgan, Colorado, where Phil is buried next to his sister. But a couple people are actually putting together collections for some kind of display. So we'll see what happens. One in particular is focused on the music that Phil enjoyed. He's a professor, I forget which university. Oh, hi, HB, the eternal English teacher. No, I'm a recovering English teacher. Yeah, you can heal through mind and meditation and prayer and diet. But, you know, I hear a fan going. I've got to go turn it off. I'll be right back. All right, sweetie. I didn't see you there. Uh, I don't want the little heater fan running when I have the door open, letting in cold air. I'm gonna, yeah, I think I'll shut the door so Tora and Sweetie can have some peace and quiet in the absence of kittens. Ah. Temperature and weather like it's probably about 40 degrees. Let's see what my phone says. 43. The high will be about 60, which is still somewhat chilly with room temperature being 72, but in the middle of January, I'll take it. Well, I suggested vitamin D to my son, and he said he's already taking it. His doctors are smart. They told him to take it, and it's D3, the active vitamin D. Got nose tickles. What, Tora? Get a new napkin. Now, Tora and Sweetie are hanging out like vultures, which means they must have their treats. Some for Tora and some for Sweetie. Good girls. I think Sweetie actually thinks her name is Good Girl. Yeah. Yes, Freeman, I got the cleats for shoes, but we haven't had any snow and the ice is all melted, so I haven't had a chance to try them out. Well, a lot of oh, what can I remember? The medical channel that I like. Oh, I gotta get this message. I have a ride to the post office. Oh, and Sachiko, the Japanese lady who Phil actually funded a demo record for her. She's very famous in Japan. Got a message from her. I think she still lives in California. Once a year, I have to renew my post office box, and they used to have me do it in summer. And for some reason that I don't understand, they changed it to January when it's cold and usually snowing. That must be awful to be unable to talk, Ditch. Have to carry around a pad and pen. Oh. Anyway. Sweetie, can I put you on camera? She says no. She walks away. Yeah. Speaking of health, my health problems are mostly just little annoyances. But my bad back does make it very difficult for me to get groceries and stuff like that. I can't walk very far and I can't carry very much. I have to have someone help me. But my health insurance company wants me to. Oh, yuck. Just a minute. Pocket lint on the napkin got on my tongue. Yuck. The health insurance company wants me to get an annual wellness check. I have better things to do than spend a couple hours at the doctor's office. And they can't tell me anything I don't already know. But I gotta do it. It's free, don't have to pay for it. When you're on Medicare, do not go for a physical. They don't cover that. Go for a wellness check. That's what they pay for. I have no clue what the difference is. Probably isn't any difference. And they keep telling me I have too much cholesterol, too much LDL. Well, excuse me, but they've gone nuts with their numbers that they want. That's ridiculous. The goal for women was 300. I met the goal, and the next day they were telling me, no, we want 200. So I said, oh, forget it. LDL is what carries your vitamin D and your calcium to the bones where you need them. Ooh, Dawn is talking about Steve Martin in The Jerk. That was such a good movie. Roxanne was pretty good. The Jerk was better. Ditch's cholesterol is off the chart, and he told his doctor he won't change it. I refuse to worry about cholesterol because the peer-reviewed literature is not actually so firm on whether it's bad and what part of it is bad and stuff like that. Cigarette went out. By the way, Tora and Sweetie are very wise kitties. They wait until all the kittens go outside and then they come back in without the kittens. Overall, I'm the fortunate descendant of survivors. Oh, HV says the health system in Denmark is free. Interesting, but do you wait 6 months to see your doctor? Like they do in Canada? I'm not exaggerating. You can't see a specialist without a referral from your doctor, but you wait 6 months to see your doctor to get the referral so you can see the specialist 6 months later. You know why? All the Canadian doctors are here in the United States where they can make a living. They don't pay them enough in Canada. Witta has waited up to a year to see a doctor. Oh, that's sad. I have had to resort to urgent care occasionally with an injury that needed treatment now. Yeah, Medicaid. Well, I'm on Medicare because I'm older than dirt, but I have Medicaid to help cover the copays. So it's a hybrid thing I have. Now, the doctor I go to is actually 3 doctors, so I can get an appointment fairly soon when I call, but I never know which doctor I'm going to see. Fortunately, I'm with Mom. She didn't take us to the doctor unless she couldn't stop the bleeding. Yeah, iatrogenic. A lot of people have iatrogenic problems. I'm like, I know people who, they have that little organizer, one for each day of the week. And it's like 6 different pills each day. And well, this one is for the side effects of that one. And okay, Tora, you aren't spoiled, are you? I have muscle relaxants as needed. So if I don't need them, I don't take them. See, I cannot take pain pills. They make me puke. And I've determined that what's going on with my back is after I've walked a few feet, the muscles go into spasms. So I need a muscle relaxant to get through the grocery store. And even then, I'm in serious pain by the time I get out. And I often leave things I wanted to buy because I just don't think I can walk that far. And I've tried their little electric carts, but I'm not good at steering. I've run into things. And one time I ran into a person. Well, most of the movies aren't actually made in Hollywood anymore. By the way, Freeman says all the great movies Hollywood won't make anymore. Yeah. Oh, wow. Dawn has a Lego electric train set from the 90s. I'll bet that's worth a fortune. Yeah. So when I receive a package at the post office instead of at my front door, I have to get someone else to carry the package for me, to take it to the car and then to take it from the car to my house. My limit is 10 pounds, and even 10 pounds is kind of difficult. I can carry 10 pounds, but I can't lift it up off of the floor. No, I would not see better with an eye patch. Watch this. My eyes just don't track together, but they both see. I can read the eye chart when I go to renew my license with both eyes, no problem, because it's one at a time. It's something, it's brain damage from an early childhood head injury. My eyes do not work together. See, when this one's forward, that one's over there. When this one's forward, that one's over there. Ditch says he wore one anyway because it looks cool. An eye patch. Yeah. No. Neither of my eyes is blind. This one has a blind spot, but my brain has figured out a workaround. I wouldn't worry about my eyes. And this thing here on my lip, that's a scar. Doesn't hurt. I have to really focus to get this eye dominant. See, I should have been left-handed. I'm left dominant. But because of this weird head injury, I grew up using my right hand, but I still do many things with my left hand. So I ended up kind of ambidextrous. Yeah, this is not a lazy eye. That's a muscle thing that they can correct with surgery. It's actually neurological. You can't fix it with an eye patch. Oh, well. Oh, I've got a dark circle under one eye and not the other. That's weird. I blame the cat. Everything is the cat's fault, right, Tora? You haven't said hi to your adoring fans. There she is. I can't get the hang of this camera, which direction to point it. Yes, Tora, you're sweet. And you're cute. Anyway. Lord. Camera's driving me nuts. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark. Yes, Tora's a cutie. She's just an ordinary tabby cat, but she's got something special. She's actually a bobcat hybrid. You ought to see her claws. They're massive compared to a normal house cat. Wear 2 eye patches, Freeman says. Yeah, right. Oh, Choir. I believe they're the publisher of Augmented. They want to reissue my surrealist novel, The Darkening of the Light. I'll be reviewing the contract today. We'll see. Sounds interesting. Don says it got snow. That's an image of a snowflake. Cold in Pennsylvania, and his cat has been sitting and sleeping next to the heater like most of the day and night. Yeah. My cats like to be next to the heater. What? Yeah, you're silly. Well, hang on to your copy, Freeman. It might be worth something because that edition is going out of print. And there haven't been that many printed. I just ordered 2 copies for myself because when I was giving books away, I gave away all of my copies. I think I had like 2, so I ordered 2. Oh well. Anyway, In the meantime, my food stamps have not come through. I finally got through to them on the phone, and they said, oh, it's a computer glitch, and they'll fix it, and I should have my food stamps by tomorrow. Oh, Wita has a signed copy. And I will not get angry if you decide to sell it on eBay or something. That's fine. Etsy Quentia says 2 eye patches might be a bold fashion statement. Oh, is a bold fashion statement that might just set a trend. I don't think so. Unless they have those little cameras they make for blind people so they can see. What, Tora? You're a pest. Okay. She's giving me the look. You know how cats are. There you go. Here. So anyway, Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine. She has a fashion eye patch with a pink glitter cross on it, and ruffles. Etsy Quentia says Balenciaga made the bag that completely covers your head, and Kanye wore it. Witta says, didn't Kanye have eye holes? That reminds me, I've been wondering about Deadpool. How in the world does he breathe? And can he see through that mask? Don't know. All right, what does by the way, I have a pretty darn good credit rating, but I don't have enough income, so I can't borrow money anyway. I can't get a loan other than the ones I have. I have 2 credit cards, but they're secured. When I got the, what do you call it? That check they sent out for COVID, I started a $300 savings account to secure a $300 credit card at the bank, and I did the same thing at the credit union. So even though I can't touch the $300 in savings, I can spend it on the credit card every month and then pay it back, which is how I got the good credit rating, but my income isn't enough. Oh, Ditch says Deadpool has terminal cancer, but he heals fast so it can't kill him. Deadpool talks through the mask that he wears, so he probably can see and breathe, huh? Thanks, Witta. Don tried to get his credit card limit raised, but couldn't because he didn't have a job. And he's like, if I had a job, I wouldn't need my credit limit raised. Yeah, that's my problem with loan companies that give you an outrageously high interest rate because you're a high risk. It's like they're making sure that you'll default. One of Ditch's favorite Deadpool stories is when a fan collects his missing limbs and it grows another Deadpool. Ooh. Tora, please, you're bothering me. That's interesting. Ditch has a Deadpool mask and it only muffles his speech a bit. Intersecting. Very interesting. Anyway, Deadpool movies are very meta, huh? They talk to the audience and stuff. Yeah, the fourth wall. Is it the third wall or the fourth wall? I think it's the fourth wall when they talk to the audience from the movie screen. The Deadpool mask is spandex, huh? Okay. Oh, hi, Squall. We're winding down. We're near the end here. Getting close to 2 hours. I wonder what Phil would have thought of the movies these days. I think the last one he saw in the theater was that David Bowie movie, The Man Who Fell to Earth. I've never seen it. I really should see it. Oh well. Well, welcome in, Squall. I'm amazed at the various screen names I see all over YouTube, but they won't let me use my actual last name. They think it's a bad word. It's just a nickname for Richard. Oh, Squall promises to watch the replay. Awesome. Freeman thinks that Philip K. Dick would be sorely disappointed with everything made after 2014. Could be. I'm really tired of Disney. They charge you an arm and a leg to watch their stuff, and then they give you a bunch of crap. On Disney Plus, they're eliminating a lot of the content while raising the monthly fees for watching it. Are they trying to go bankrupt? Huh. Ditch says there's a creator who got censored and it's his actual birth name. Yeah, well, my last name is my married name. Oh, blame Nixon? Yeah, I suppose. Everything's Nixon's fault. Phil thought Nixon was the devil himself at first, but over the course of a couple of years, he kind of softened up his stance. Still didn't like him. You know, Richard Nixon was a fundamentalist Christian, a good husband and father, didn't cheat on his wife and stuff like that. But Watergate destroyed him. He wasn't part of it, but he tried to cover it up. And that was a big mistake, and I'd like to know which idiot gave him that advice. Freeman would like to make a parody of Disney World. There was a parody of Disney on South Park. Widow wants to know what's the last new good movie I've seen. Well, I haven't seen movies in ages. The last one I saw in the theater was The Hobbit Part 1, and it was so lame I never bothered to see Part 2. I did love the Harry Potter films and the Lord of the Rings films. I never saw the last Harry Potter film. It was getting to be a teen romance. I'm not into teen romance, which is also why I never watched the third season of Stranger Things. The writers, directors, producers of Stranger Things were students from my alma mater, Chapman College. Of course, it has sold out and become a university. It isn't the same. Greg wants to know what I know about Medicare. Well, for me, the much maligned, I forget what it's called now. Shoot. Medicare Advantage works for me because Medicaid covers my copays most of the time. Yes, Dawn. Some of the Harry Potter movies are kind of creepy, but I don't mind. All right, see you, Ditch. Thanks for coming in. Wow. Yeah, I've got about 2 minutes left. Anyway, my advice about Medicare is to see an insurance agent. They don't charge you a single penny. They're paid by the insurance companies. But they, if you talk to 2 or 3 of them, they'll probably all give you the same advice. They won't steer you wrong because they want you to be happy and re-up with the same plan, every year so they get paid. So they want you to be happy with your plan. Oh, Etsy Quentia, The Hobbit was a trilogy. I'm glad I didn't see part 2, because then I'd be, now I gotta watch part 3 and I'm still bored out of my mind. Walk, walk, run, hide. Walk, walk, run, hide. Walk, walk, run, hide. Ooh, there's a dragon. The end. I've never watched Arcane. It's on Netflix, huh? I might check it out. Yeah, Dawn's with me. Never heard of it. Yeah, I gotta get off the internet and get ready to go mail some important stuff. It's a cartoon, Witta says. Almost passed on it, but it's actually really good. Okay. I miss the things they used to show, like, I think they were all on Fox, the animated shows like Futurama. I don't know whether they still make Futurama. The pizza delivery boy ends up far in the future on a spaceship with these weird creatures, and it's really good. Don says True Detective on HBO is good. Well, I don't have HBO. Does Cinemax still exist, or did they merge with HBO? Yeah, Futurama had Phil in Gnostic robes on one episode. Well, the Gnostics want to claim him as one of their own, but Phil, he kind of dabbled in Gnosticism, but also in other areas, including the Hindu scriptures and Buddhism and Taoism and various Christian cults, as well as, of course, he was an Episcopalian. Episcopalian is known as Catholic Light. You see, the Church of England is Catholic without the Pope, and Episcopalian is Anglican, the English Church. What did I say? Let me start that over. Anglican in England is Catholic without the Pope. Episcopalian in the States is Anglican without the Queen, or at this time in history, the King, who is the head of the Church of England. Etsequentia says the Simpsons will still be on when the sun blows up and engulfs the earth. HB says Gravity Falls, same people who made Futurama. Yes, theology is important, and most people writing about Phil only skim the surface. I don't blame them for not reading the exegesis, since the most important parts are handwritten and his writing is really illegible. I can read it, but it takes time. I'm a little slow at reading it, but I can get it right. Oh, Matt Groening, yeah. Is it Groening or Graining? Anyway, he's pretty darn good creator. Okay. Anyway, it really is time to go. We're past the 2-minute mark and then some. So, let's see. I'm going to go back to listening. There isn't a whole lot to watch here, so thank you all for listening and have a great day. Oh, one more thing before I go. This channel now has more than 500 members. We should celebrate. Okay? So be happy. Or as Phil told his son in a dream, go play. Thank you all. You guys are awesome. I have a community wall. I just never seem to get to it, Squall. I should post that. Good morning, Treehouse. We're about to leave. Yeah, you'll see me later if the cats allow it. Okay. Bye all.